Hello, my name is Adam Krieger, founder of Preferred Strategies. I'd like to thank you for your interest in our company and talk to you today about reporting and business intelligence for JD Edwards. Companies spend millions of dollars implementing JD Edwards ERP software, and the software is great for data entry, but never really designed for data retrieval and analysis. If you're a CFO looking to mine your monthly P&L, or you're a sales manager needing to understand who your top 10 customers were for the last quarter, or a business analyst needing to reconcile your inventory to general ledger. These are not easy activities for JD Edwards customers. However, in today's business landscape, companies need to be more agile. They need to become more data-driven to be able to get information when they need it and build it on their own. IT needs to be able to empower the business, and business wants to be empowered from IT. That's why I'd like to introduce you to QuickLaunch for JD Edwards. QuickLaunch is a suite of accelerators that transform JD Edwards data into a usable, decision-ready information for reporting and analytics software applications. We focus on the back end with our data QuickLaunch, as well as the front end with our BI QuickLaunch. QuickLaunch is designed for JD Edwards EnterpriseOne and World customers of all versions on all database types, SQL, Oracle, DB2, that you may be running JD Edwards on. We focus on market-leading reporting and analytics software. However, our data QuickLaunch can be supported on any database SQL compliant reporting application you may choose to use. We look at customers that want to go across all aspects of analytics, across all use cases, from operational reports, financial reports, business query, data discovery and visualization, Microsoft Office integration, as well as just a BI platform to be able to distribute and deliver reports to your business. We like to work with companies that invest in technology strategically to standardize on technology across the business. So IT can best support the business, and business can best support reporting and analytics across all database sources that they may need to go against, not just JD Edwards. We work with companies that are typically IT lean. We have companies as small as $20 million in revenue and companies as large as over $100 billion in revenue. But a common customer would be somebody who is, again, running maybe a handful of people that in IT that support the business across all applications with very limited budgets. Why consider QuickLaunch? This is a quote from the BI scorecard. Installing BI software is a small part of the total deployment. The larger cost of ownership and time to deploy a solution comes with the building of the BI metadata layer, developing reports and content. That's exactly what our QuickLaunch for JD Edwards does. It provides the layers, provides the models, provides the data structured in a way to best suffice your reporting and analytics. Data QuickLaunch, again, is where on the data side, we're turning the JD Edwards data into a more business-friendly format and transforming it in a way to provide that optimal performance, but the flexibility. Some customers want to report on JD Edwards directly against the transaction data. Some people do not want to actually allow reporting and querying of data against the transaction system. They want to move it offline. So we support an operational data store and have canned, packaged operational data store for JD Edwards, as well as a star schema data warehouse, if that's your desired infrastructure for reporting and analytics. We also support a hybrid of these approaches. We talk about cleaning the data. There's about 5,000 tables within the JD Edwards data model. And the data is not structured in a way that most business users can understand. So if you're looking at some of the tables, F0006 might be the business unit master. The column names might be GBOBJ for the object account. With our data QuickLaunch, we transform that into a meaningful name. So you actually are seeing a table, dim business unit or object account for your aliases. The dates are stored in a Julian format in JD. We can convert that to a Gregorian. We make sure the proper decimal precision is there for your amounts and units, all your user-defined codes, your descriptions, and the naming convention. So if business unit cat code 1 is your business segment, it'll be relabeled in our data QuickLaunch to reflect what your naming conventions are for your user-defined codes. And then some of the data needs to be cleaned a little bit. You're trimming the data on the business unit, or you've got to get your different subledgers across the different tables. But even transforming some of your summary tables in JD Edwards into a much more usable format to be able to trend your year-to-date sales. Those are the types of things that we address on the back end with our data QuickLaunch. Our BI QuickLaunch is where we go in and we build models and reports and templates on the front end with whatever specific BI tool that you choose. And this is where you build calculations. You might prompt a user for a through date and calculate year-to-date current year sales versus the prior year-to-date sales. It's through these calculations that are happening at the semantic layer or the data modeling or the templates that are specific to each front-end tool. We have BI QuickLaunch for business objects, Microsoft and Oracle reporting and BI technologies. The modeling of a direct connect, the diagram, if you're running JD Edwards on SQL, Oracle, or IBM DB2, we actually layer a suite of database views. So that's what our data QuickLaunch would consist of, is these database views that transform the JD Edwards data into that usable business-friendly format. And then we apply the models, and if you're using a market-leading BI software, the server is where those models would reside, and they would connect to those data quick views on the database. Workstations would connect to those via the server or directly at the data itself if you're using a desktop tool of choice from a reporting perspective. The next option would be, if you do not want to explore the direct connect, would be with the operational data store. We use Microsoft SSIS. SSIS is our ETL tool of choice. And within the operational data store, we're not looking at just doing daily updates. We're actually looking at more near-time incremental loads. So once you do a full load to your operational data store, at that point you're tying into more of an incremental process. So you're getting typically anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes behind your transaction environment. The way this works would be, again, you've got your JD Edwards sitting on your database. If you're using IBM database for JD or Oracle, we actually use dbmodo as a third-party application to replicate that data to another operational data store. Or if you're on SQL Server, we use SSIS. And that populates another target schema of your database. It kind of mirrors what your JD Edwards data would look like. It's still the natural schema, and we layer our data quick views right on top of that ODS. Then all your models on the BI QuickLaunch would be connected to that ODS, and the workstations, again, would access the data through the BI server or directly at the data itself from the desktop. And the third option is the data warehouse. So we have an enterprise data warehouse following the best practices of data warehousing. We like to follow a star schema type model with conformed dimensions. So we're pulling in the account dimension or the business unit dimension one time, and it's used across all applicable modules that might share that same information. We're using surrogate keys. We're creating a numerical key value and structuring a way so all relationships between your fact and dimension tables in the warehouse can go on an equal join, and it provides an optimal performance. Like the operational data store, our enterprise data warehouse typically runs 2 to 10 minutes behind production as well. We also provide some auditing and notification, so if your data warehouse gets out of sync with your transaction environment, you're notified on how to resolve it. And the diagram for that, again, would be if you're running on IBM or Oracle, we use dbmodo to feed an operational data store. If you're on SQL Server, we use SSIS to do that. And then we populate, again, this target schema enterprise data warehouse, and that way our BI QuickLaunch can connect to that enterprise data warehouse, and the workstations, again, go right through the server or directly at the database directly. As far as implementation timeline, Preferred Strategies has spent tens of thousands of hours building out this content with QuickLaunch for JD Edwards. And we package this content by JD Edwards module, and regardless if you're going with what either product, it takes anywhere from 1 to 5 days to get everything installed, and then 1 to 2 weeks to get fully configured. When we say 1 to 5 days, if you're going with, let's say, Microsoft Power Pivot solution for a few modules, within a day you might be up and running. But if you're going to go with 10 modules of the data warehouse, we have to go into some of the fact and dimension tables and customize the content for your specific requirements. Maybe you want to add some fields or change some names. We do that as part of our configuration process. That's where it takes more time to kind of get up and running. But regardless, you're not talking about months or 6 months to 12 months or several years to get this going. You'll be up and running in a matter of days. And the nice thing about our pricing is that it includes all this installation and configuration. So even if you have more requirements up front for configuration, it doesn't cost you anymore when it comes to the implementation. Why preferred strategies QuickLaunch? Again, we focus on market-leading reporting and business intelligence software. So you're getting the very best software, not just the best software, but tailored for JD Edwards as well. So rather than spending those thousands of hours yourself, we provide you that metadata, we provide you that content on the back end, and we provide you the front-end models so your users can start getting access to the data immediately. We provide the flexibility. So if you're looking at doing reporting and analytics directly against JD Edwards transaction data, we support that. You want to feed data offline to an operational data store, we can help you there. And if you want to go down the path of a data warehouse, we have a packaged star schema data warehouse that can help you build that infrastructure across all your platforms of data as well. We like to look at ourselves as more of a partner with our customers. And a typical scenario would be if a customer is up and running and all of a sudden they're building out a report and they're not sure what model to grab, or they're not sure what the best approach might be, they reach out to Preferred Strategy. Within 5 minutes, we're sharing a desktop. Within 20 minutes, your users are back on their feet and they're continuing forward on their objective. And from a price standpoint, our pricing is very competitively priced. Our QuickLaunch is sold by JD Edwards module for unlimited users. And then depending upon what software, some of the BI software we work with are free. Some are included with JD Edwards. And some might require some additional licensing as well. And we can help you through all that. So once again, I'd like to thank you for your interest in Preferred Strategies and QuickLaunch. If you have any questions about QuickLaunch, we'd love to connect with you. If you have any questions just about reporting and business intelligence in general, as it relates to JD Edwards or any other sources of data you need to pull in, we'd love to hear from you. So thanks again.